Welcome to Permanently Geek's Watch With Us. I am your host, Randy, and sitting next to me is...
Michael McFarland.
And...
Dana.
This is a podcast audio commentary show in which we watch a movie, we make fun of it, enjoy it, hate it, love to hate it, hate to love it, all and everything in between. You can either listen to this podcast style and just sort of enjoy the commentary as you're, driving to work, on a subway, at the gym, juicing your pecs, or you can sync the movie up with a Blu-ray, a digital copy, a VHS, whatever you have. You can sync it up and watch along with us. Watch with us, hence the title of the show.
We're actually watching on Netflix today.
Yes, today we are going to be watching a film on Netflix. So that's the first. That's a first
for us.
Yeah, we have not done a Netflix film. But that's because I don't own it on Blu-ray because the film is shit.
It's not worth spending money on.
In celebration of Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, we have decided to pick a film from Warner Brothers' back catalog, a motion picture film that is...
Not good?
It is 1 hour and 44 minutes long. That's all I can say about it. And that film is Halle Berry's Catwoman.
Academy Award-winning actress Halle Berry's.
Academy Award-winning and Razzie Award-winning.
Is this 1-star rating what Netflix thinks you would give it,
That's
or
what
is
I
that
gave
your
it.
rating?
That is what I gave it. I
Now,
very
1-star.
rarely rate movies on Netflix, but I was like 1 star.
Netflix, for me, on my account, estimated that I would give it about 1.1 stars.
That is very generous.
I was going to say, it's just about right for this one.
This is arguably one of the worst, if not the single worst comic book movie I think that's ever been made. So we are going to do a commentary for it and make fun of it. And so if you've got the film, we have it synced up to about 4 seconds. The Warner Brothers logo is just starting to show up, shimmer into the distance. And when I say go, we will go. We will be pressing play and watching the film. So we're 4 seconds in. Again, if you just want to listen along, just listen along. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Play has been pressed. We're 5 seconds in, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. I haven't actually seen this movie in a while.
It's been a long time, and there's a reason for that,
yeah.
if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's painful.
I think I might have fallen asleep the last time I tried watching it.
Hopefully that won't happen this time because we're doing a commentary.
If you hear
That would not be the
snoring
first time you've fallen asleep
in the left channel.
We're
of
not
your
gonna talk about that.
headphones, That's Dana giving this film the attention it deserves.
Well, I'm not sitting on the couch this time. It was very comfortable on the couch.
We open with Egyptian hieroglyphics of cats.
Of course.
Woman singing
I think we're
song about cats.
Are we going to be looking at like cats through history? Is that what
This is cats
montage is?
Cats through history. Somebody's like, what do you know about Catwoman? I don't know shit. Cat mummies found among the ruins. This is so stupid. This is
Oh, cats and butts.
Cats and butts, Catwoman. We know nothing about the canon of Catwoman.
I was going to say, like,
Is that a cat on a dollar bill? Here in China, there were cats. Like, you could literally make like, there's apples right there. You could do like Apple Woman and like just show apples throughout history and be like, ooh, it's mysterious. Apples existed everywhere.
Here's the temptation in the Garden of Eden. Yeah. Apple Woman.
Apple Woman.
It's really appropriate that I have the game Neko Atsumi up on my phone right now, which is all about cat collecting.
Also more deserving of attention than this film.
Yes, way better.
But I wonder if a modern day telling of the Catwoman story in a campy way would have her be like the app developer of Neko Atsumi.
Neko Atsumi, probably. I call it Neko Katsumi, or just Katsumi. Devils, cat cults. Oh, I want to be part of a cat cult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google and see if there's any active cat cults right now.
I think that's called the internet.
Well, yeah.
Active cat.
I mean, we could start one.
Let's see, cat cult. Looking it up. There's thecatcult.com, but not really. Kesha is starting a cat cult.
There you go. That's
wants
that's
you to join.
In
Cat $Ha wants you to join her cat.
Yes.
Oh my god. Was that like a burlesque?
We'll be her
dancer?
cat warriors. There's been a lot of those.
Whoa.
That was my coffee cup hitting the microphone. Sorry about that, microphone and internet audience.
Internet audience just went, what the fuck, man?
was that?
The fuck, I'm trying to watch Catwoman. This is good. This is the best fucking movie that's ever been made about cats. Based on characters created by Bob Kane. It's a shame they didn't read any of the comic books.
Yeah, that would have been helpful.
That was where I would have started.
In,
It took 3 people to develop the piece of shit
Cat
story.
Fanciers Association,
I
Folks
thought they
at
just
that-
had a magazine. I didn't know they had a whole association.
right?
If you're, we're about 6 minutes or so into this. 6 minutes into recording the commentary. We're probably like 2 or 3 minutes into the movie. But I'm actually curious if there's anybody out there in internet land. If you're watching us right now and you're just like, "Fuck you guys, Catwoman is the best movie ever." Please, God, please comment.
I want to hear why.
I want to hear why you think this movie is good. I'm always open to hearing like a take on why something is good, even when I think it's terrible. Just because it's fascinating. You always learn something new or discover something. So,
And if you enjoy this movie because it's one of those so bad it's good things to you, it never crossed that line of like pulling an entertainment Magellan and coming back around that it's so terrible that I enjoy watching it.
Right.
It's to me it's mostly just bad.
it's not quite like best worst movie style. It's a pretty
Right.
bad.
But there have been several times where, Randy, you have defended a movie not as just being so bad it's good, but that there's generally good things about it
There's
that
good
people
qualities.
are just missing. And we want to hear what those things are about this film.
Like even this movie, I would say artistically, it's a very dynamic picture in like how it sets up its visuals, the movement of the camera and stuff. It's just the script is really the flaw here. It's a movie written by people who knew nothing of the source material.
So what you're saying is maybe I will enjoy it more now that we're just watching it with subtitles and don't have to necessarily listen to the awful script and can just kind of enjoy the direction of it. Yeah. No, I'm trying to work with me here. Work with me.
That
I mean,
silver lining.
Why is the camera so close to this guy? This movie is directed by Pete Hoff, who went on to direct, I don't think, a single thing after this. Because
I can't imagine why.
I want to say Pete Hoff was either a production designer or perhaps a cinematographer or both. And Pete Hoff went and made this movie. And it's the rest is history.
As was his career, apparently.
Associate producer. He has directed a few other things. He directed a TV movie called Fire and Ice. But nothing really big. And he's been a writer on a few things, but his general career has been visual effects supervisor. He worked on The City of Lost Children as French filmmaker, Alien Resurrection, so it looks like Jean-Pierre Jeunet is somebody, Delicatessen. He has a visual flair and a style that is interesting, but again, the script is so bad. Maybe had the script not been this appallingly terrible, it might have worked. Maybe he could have made a good movie. You know, it's always hard to tell with a movie like this. Like, what happened? What was it? Halle Berry? Was it producers? Was it studio heads driving demographics? Was it writers who didn't understand the source material? Was it a fact that no one had passion for the work? Who knows? Because like for me, it seems like I wouldn't think anybody would make this movie who wasn't a fan.
I'm also interested in when this falls in the timeline of comic book movies, because it lands just as the plucky movies are kind of on their way out and dark movies are on their way in, and I wonder if it just had a hard time finding its identity because of all of that too.
This movie came out 1 year before Batman Begins, and at that point you had X-Men. You had X-Men and X-Men 2. You had Spider-Man and probably Spider-Man 2. So you have...
And the Spider-Man films were having a little bit of a hard time walking that line between plucky and dark.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, I think, have that flaw. I'd say that they do grapple with being serious and being heavy. It's an odd thing because it's possible that is what did it. I feel like this was some producer owned the rights to this who really didn't care about the source material. and developed a story more because it feels more like it's built for like female demographics. And this is the film that like studio heads will now cite when they're like, oh, female superheroes don't work. Look at this movie Catwoman. And it's like, know why
yes,
that?
Yes, do look at this movie.
Please look at that movie and don't do anything that movie does because it does it all wrong. It gets everything wrong about the
it's really
character.
infuriating.
Ooh,
Hoobastank.
We got some Hoobastank coming through here. So
dating the film.
I think it's worth. Well, nobody else would. I had to. So her job is as a graphic designer, which my two primary occupations are musician and graphic designer. And I have to say that I don't think that the writers really knew how a graphic designer's life works.
No.
And also the whole like berating graphic designer for their appearance and their poor fashion choices
is not.
That doesn't really happen. Like
No.
we're kind of expected to look a little bit weird. Like if you look middle of the road-ish and we're just wearing ordinary business attire,
It's not going to work. You don't seem interesting.
Yeah, people won't think that you have any kind of creative flair.
Yeah.
So right there, again, it's sort of something close to my heart as a graphic designer myself, but that was, I remember the first time I saw this, it's like, that's not how that would work. That's not how it goes.
They don't know that, Michael.
Cats.
I want to say cats every single time I see cats. Cats. Yeah, every time there's a new cat on screen or a cat on screen.
El gato.
El gato.
Un gato.
Gato.
Dos gato.
This really does feel, because like she works graphic design. Her friend is like obsessed with guys. There's the villain is a makeup person. Like Sharon Stone works for like a makeup corporation. This is totally tailored for like this stereotype version of women.
Right.
And that's what's so bad about it. It's so pandering.
These women came from the same universe that the ones from Showgirls
Yeah.
did. Like, I feel like it's the same universe of women.
A shared universe of bad movies.
Right.
All bad movies take place in the same universe. I kind of like the idea.
Yeah.
Like
So
this in the room.
The room
this
is down the street.
room's down the street, and
But yeah, I feel like this at the very least lives in the same universe that Showgirls did.
what?
Are
is
you
she
kidding?
doing? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now?
You gotta grab
The cat's
cat?
fine. The
Yeah.
cat does not need your help. Who's this guy?
Concerned citizen.
He's like a cop, and
Yeah.
he's like in love with her because they're trying to make this a romance movie. Hi, I'm a cop. See? Don't kill yourself.
Because of this bad, don't jump off the ledge. Like, I don't understand why showing that suddenly makes you someone worth listening to about not accidentally falling off a ledge because you were trying to save a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat's not there anymore because the cat was fine.
Yeah.
Because the cat is a cat and not a human being. Also, maybe the cat was never there. Ooh, is the cat not there?
Oh.
Is this entire film a metaphor for her having a nervous breakdown and like she never actually becomes Catwoman?
There we go. There's your silver
All right.
lining is
I'm going to
starting form
psychoanalyze
here.
this one.
I want to see an article. I want 500 words about how Catwoman is actually the deranged imagination of a woman in an insane asylum, and she actually just had a breakdown from too much pressure at work.
Maybe she's schizophrenic and like she's not in an asylum. Like this is the way she is, and she's just crazy and neurotic, and everyone kind of just placates to it and just lets it go. But secretly they all know this is bad. It's really bad. Panting. She's on deadline today.
So wait, did she just get up early and like I'm gonna do some painting before I go into work?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't do that?
No.
Also, she just banged like something. There's like, she dropped it on purpose.
Apparently that was actually
part
in
of
the
the movie.
script.
I thought that was like
Supposed
a
to.
microphone or something that fell. It might
Which
still
would
be
have
a
been
microphone.
hilarious.
Meanwhile, in zoomy CG world, 1 year before Batman Begins, this movie came out. I'd like to think it takes place in the Batman Begins universe. Though Catwoman already exists in that universe and is way better.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though I'm not like big fan of The Dark Knight Rises. I think it's a good movie, but I'm not like in love with it. I actually did write a little bit of a psychoanalysis of The Dark Knight Rises several years ago, which maybe I'll put a link to in the comments below. But Catwoman in that movie was just okay for me. I just think I would have rather had seen Rachel McAdams play the character than I like Anne Hathaway, but it just wasn't.
What do you think Rachel McAdams would have brought to it? I'm interested in.
I just think she would have played maybe the confidence of Catwoman a little bit more naturally than Anne Hathaway did. There's something kind of artificial about Anne Hathaway's performance in the movie. And again, I love Anne Hathaway, and I think she's fantastic. Like in Interstellar, she's outstanding. I couldn't see anybody else playing that role. But with The Dark Knight Rises, the whole time, I just want Rachel McAdams in that role instead. I don't know what it is. I just think there's something about her performance in most of the movies. Rachel McAdams is a little more dynamic. You can agree or disagree. Whatever. She's fine. I don't dislike Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. I just not completely in love with it either.
Yeah.
So
I think Hallie should have just reprised the role, personally.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
So I think it's also worth noticing that the company logo for this company bears a striking resemblance to the International Harvester logo.
That's
and
on purpose.
So anytime I see it on screen, because the International Harvester logo, it's an I and an H looking like a tractor. So all I see is the tractor every time that's on screen.
Of course, now we won't see the logo again. Oh,
there
there
it
we
is.
go.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does. This is Alex Borstein, I think is her name. She's on Family Guy. She's like the voice of a couple of the characters.
Oh, yeah. Lois and
yeah.
a few of them.
Yeah. Is it Lois? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch the show enough. I don't. I like the show. I just don't watch it all that much. I don't like it that much. It's just okay.
But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Catwoman.
Do we have to? Are you gonna make us?
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
I love how everybody is into this guy. Like everyone. Like the gay guy that's over there. There's like that gay guy. He keeps looking at him and he's like trying to kind of pick him up. And Alex Borstein is on the other side, like being all flirty with him. Everybody's flirty with him. I also like that he Googled art.
Yeah, I was about to say, did we miss the scene where he Googled art so that he could learn about things to talk to her about?
I think that might be the next scene.
Okay.
Or maybe this is. I don't know.
Well,
I know that at some point he this is so pandery.
He's
It's
like,
like-
oh, I have to find things to talk to her about. I'm going to Google art and memorize everything that I find so that I can sound cool to her.
Talking about art.
All art ever.
Because it's a narrow subject.
Yes.
Art.
He's not like he smiles at her like he thinks that's cool, but in reality he's like, oh my god, she's crazy. I've had girls do that to me and like hit on me really obviously. And I know why girls don't like being hit on that way because it's awkward.
Right, yeah.
Like, I get why girls don't like that because I don't like
The few
it.
times that it's happened to me in my life, I was like, oh, God, this is terrible.
Like, this is the worst feeling.
This has to be what it's like to be a woman all the time. And
Yeah.
that's terrible.
To sort of have the objectification and just, I don't know, there's something about it that's weird.
Well, okay, what's weird about it is
What is this?
they have clearly identified that they like you enough to do this act. You don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
So you don't know whether you want to respond to this aggressive approach or not.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no like easing in to see whether you're both on the same page or not. It's just like, boom, I've already decided that I'm into you enough to act in this way. You have to make a decision right now on whether you feel the same way about me. And it's like, whoa.
In reality, she's actually schizophrenic and no cop showed up and everyone's just being nice. They're like, just play along, flirt with him. He's not really here, but just like act like he's here though.
She's just
Or-
There
talking
are
about this
so
really
many
handsome
swooping
man.
shots. in
Or
this
no
movie.
one's interacting with her and she's just talking to herself at her desk.
Or she's just, yeah. You have somebody who works with you who does that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Never mind.
Didn't happen.
Except it did. There are like so many. This movie has like a floaty camera. Like right now, it's just sort of creepily floating toward her.
Yeah, everything feels like it's just on, a hovercraft that's sort of, or a drone. Like this film was shot entirely by drone.
It looks like a lot of Steadicam work.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what the cream does.
Oh no.
Oh God, what is this cutting? What is the cutting? What are you doing, movie? Fuck you, Catwoman. Fuck you and your
But how do you
stupid face.
How do you really feel, Randy?
Why are you going into the restricted area right now?
Kudos to Halle Berry, who actually showed up at the Razzies to accept her award.
How many times did that happen? How many?
Not all that often. Yeah. Every once in a while it happens, but she was very gracious about it. She thought it was funny. Because I mean, you have like, I wonder like whether every day you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this is not going to be a good movie. I can tell. I can tell because look at my outfit. I look like a dominatrix would be disappointed in my outfit right now. Like, I don't even know what this is. It's just so far detached from the source material that none of it really works. There's probably somebody who's like a hardcore Catwoman fan, though, who's like, no, it actually is based on this specific issue line.
There was a specific sub-series of
really
Catwoman.
It
important.
was really good. I love Catwoman.
this whole shot here, like the rotating woman's head that they've got,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out whether that's supposed to be a simulation of effects or if they put a woman on like a turntable and told her to stand still. We're going to put a camera on you and show the horrific things that happen to your face, because we're
going to poorly Photoshop those on.
Right, because her eyes keep moving.
Yeah.
So it's obviously supposed to like represent an actual human.
It might be some sort of scanning thing.
Yeah.
They scanned it in the computer.
But then we're like, let's make the eyes move just so it's a little extra creepy.
Yeah. This is a motion picture.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
She's leaning up against a solid wall of stuff.
Yes.
And yet it's showing her shadow.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah, no. Okay, just checking the physics.
That's the physics of this universe.
According to
It doesn't
science.
make any sense. According to science.
That's bullshit.
Even Michael Bay would be like, all right, guys, this is way too much cutting.
That's a bridge too far, guys.
This is too much cutting you're doing right here. You are editing too much. Did you know the average length of like of a shot in a Michael Bay movie is like 3.5 seconds?
Longer than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's longer than in this movie.
I remember one time I was counting them. I watched like I think I saw Bad Boys 2. I literally counted. And almost no shot was like more than 2 seconds. I was like,
all right, I'm actually going to pull out a stopwatch here, and I'm gonna start doing laps for every time there's a cut, so we can get.
This scene's actually making me dizzy with the cuts.
It's so frantic.
All right, so here we go. Oh, of course. As soon as I do that,
there's a cut.
Longer
there's
shots.
a cut.
All right, and long shot cut. Okay, it's getting a little bit less frantic there.
Well, this is going. There's a cut. There's a cut. Yeah. Cut. Well, then we're not in an action scene anymore, so it's now slowing down.
I'm still seeing average of about.
Cut.
So there's 1.3, 2.16, 2, 3.8. Yeah, so it's right around there. We're back in action mode. All right, here we go.
Cut.
Cut. Why is she like? It looks like she's throwing magic down each one. Why is she having such a hard time running? It's not like. Oh my God, this is insane.
Cut.
So just in that scene, let's.
Cut.
Okay, so that was 13 cuts each, about a little over a second long was our average.
Yeah,
and now we're into slow motion.
This was frantically.
We're Zack Snyder.
Look at this! Look at all the cuts.
I think there's been 13 cuts just since she landed in the water.
Kudos to actually putting debris in the water, though, because so many movies, like when they go in the water, there's no debris.
It's just pristine.
It's pristine. It's like, no, there's usually like debris in water.
Well, this is all leaves.
Which doesn't totally make sense.
No,
not really, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
It's something that they could find that she wouldn't feel gross swimming around with.
Let this CG cat from Cats and Dogs save you. Look at this cat. It's so CG.
So by comparison to
it moves all liquidy.
Yeah, it's CG cats. But the
What? Why are we going in the cat's mouth? Is this supposed to be in the cat's belly right now? Is this sort of pristine?
I'm going to check on my Neko Atsumi cats.
Do you have a Catwoman? Do you have a Halle Berry cat?
I should. There
should be
though.
one in homage to Catwoman. Here we go with the swooping camera again. CG footage. CG footage.
But yeah, by comparison to like the Michelle Pfeiffer scene where she kind of becomes Catwoman, this is so much less impactful than what appears to be like cats eating her and her turning into Catwoman.
Chewing on her, and licking her, and
whereas this is like
this
a
is
whole
hilarious.
bunch of cats surround her and breathe on her.
This is like Garfield right here. This is so ridiculous. I love later on when she speaks with the woman who like knows who she is. The woman says, "You are Catwoman." I love that line. That's probably the best line of the movie. You are Catwoman.
Why? So could they not get actual, like, were there no actual cats available?
There are real cats in this scene. It's just probably to get a cat to do this, it needs to be CG because you just can't train cats.
It's a lot harder to wrangle cats to do the things that.
Yeah, you can train cats to sit basically and like go to do things that give them treats, but like in terms of performance, they're not interested. They just don't care.
So yeah, here we go. Cat breathes on her, and now you have the cat powers.
You have cat power.
Cat's got some stanky breath. Look at that.
I don't have this issue, but I know some people will wake up to their cats like in their face because they're like trying to get food or whatever. You know, I wonder if like those cats are really just trying to instill superpowers on them.
Powers? That's true.
And they're just like, get off me, and they throw them off of them, and you know they never get their cat powers.
Where did the cat see again? She's just crazy.
Yeah, all those cats are gone. They weren't actually there.
They weren't really there.
Imagining it.
She didn't even go into the facility. None of that. None of that actually happened. She just jumped in the lake and then wound up here. Birds. She has super bird powers because that's a power that cats have. You know what cats do when they see birds? They go. They make little clicks.
Well, I mean,
what is that? I could just see because the director of this is French. He's like, I want you to, because he's got a stereotypical French.
Of course, that's
accent.
how every French person speaks.
He's like, Halle Berry, I want you to act like a cat in this scene. I want you to go purr, purr.
Nimbly bimbly.
I want you to swat at the spider.
He's sitting there with like a cigarette in his hand with a French beret.
He's got a mustache that curls
a handlebar
up,
mustache.
looking all Salvador Dali-esque.
Pete off if you're listening, and you probably are because this movie ruined your career and you probably have a lot of psychological damage about it. I'm sorry. I don't know what you sound like. By all accounts, and I haven't heard any, but by all accounts that I've heard, you seem like a nice guy. And by all accounts, I've never heard anybody talk
I've never heard anyone say something specifically bad.
I have not heard anything bad about you.
We probably would have heard if you were a dick.
Yeah. Ooh, she just CG jumped. She got all floaty because CG in 2004 is super liquidy. Some of the CG isn't bad. Some of it's like kind of okay, but in general,
you're covered in mud. That's what that is.
That's mud. That's mud. What you want to do is wash it off your face, like take a shower. It looked like she was going to crash her head through that.
Is that what cats do? They punch through windows?
Yeah. When Dee Dee, my cat, comes home, she just busts straight through the window.
Busts out a window and
like,
walks right in.
I kind of like Dee Dee. She'll go up to a window and she'll like rub her face on it. I kind of wanted Halle Berry to do that there.
Yeah, that would have been more
like
accurate
paw at
cat
the window.
behavior.
Yeah, just paw at it.
How did she get clean? I'd like to assume she licked herself clean.
She licked all that mud off of herself.
It is the ability to punch through a window and not have any cuts or blood drawn a cat superpower?
Almost certainly.
Yes.
Okay.
This is stupid. It would be funny if she was like sleeping in a box.
Yes!
Like there's just a cardboard
if she
box.
Fits, she sits.
Oh my god.
I just saw that meme the other day. It's really funny.
It's like, or like the video of the like big cats. Like if you put a giant like refrigerator box,
they'll play with it.
Yeah, they'll play with it exactly like house cats. I had a discussion with a friend of mine who's a vet about cats and the fact that they really are not domesticated. Like as opposed to dogs, which entirely are domesticated creatures, cats really are.
They're not. They're not domesticated like at all.
And my cat both is a quality mouser, but she'll catch mice and then just play with them.
Well, that's what that's usually what they do anyway.
Yeah, like just kind of mess with them, like a live toy. Here, I caught this thing. I'm going to terrify it to death.
My cat has been catching mice like crazy lately.
Really?
Yes.
Dee Dee's turned into a little mouser.
What happened is I bought a memory foam rug for my kitchen, and she now sits on the memory foam, and now mice can't hear her. They can't hear her like little like as she walks around on the linoleum.
As she like wiggles to pounce.
They can't hear her now, and so she's been catching them. Last week she caught 2, and like the week before she caught 2. She's caught like 4 or 5 mice just in 2016.
Wow,
it's incredible.
That is a heck of a record right there.
Yeah. Also, we have a mouse problem, apparently.
Yeah.
Unrelated, but we apparently have a mouse problem in this house.
No, what I think it is they come in because they're cold. And they're not really, like, because nothing ever, I don't even see mouse poop or anything. I think they're just coming in by accident, and she just catches them when they come in by accident.
We have a bowl of candy sitting on top of the microwave, and there's no chew marks or, no one's gotten into any of that.
There's a bowl of Dee Dee's food just right down on the floor.
Well, we don't
they'd
really know whether they're getting into that or not, though.
No.
I just mean, like, food that, like, we would see if a wrapper got opened or, there was tiny chew marks in our bananas or something, but...
I believe this is the mom on...
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet
Under.
Yes, indeed.
American Horror Story.
She also kind of reminds me of the lady from Troll 2, the mom in Troll 2.
She does, yeah.
She kind of has a similar vibe.
If that woman had become an established actress.
No caffeine.
Yes, Frances Conroy is the name of the actress. Yeah. She was also in The Aviator.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Scent of a Woman.
She's kind of an odd actress. She has a very odd performance style, which is why she reminds me of the Troll 2 lady.
Yeah, she does the sort of like eccentric characters exceptionally well, which, the crazy cat lady fits right in her wheelhouse.
She's the one who says, "You are Catwoman." I'm pretty sure she's the one who says that line. She's a crazy cat lady.
Yep.
So this is what you learn from this, is that crazy cat ladies really do have power.
Okay, wait. She's late for work.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
You're going to act like a cat in this scene.
Rub it on your face like a cat.
We are
the catnip.
Catnip.
She's got it all over her lips.
She does. She's pulling a Ted Cruz there. Oh, now she's all high going to work.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, she's doing all this before work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Movies
She had
do
a
that.
date planned before work with that cop guy.
Yeah.
Like, no, I barely have enough time to shower before I go to work. Like, just no.
Yeah, I mean, and given the fact that she was like up and painting before work, is she like ultimate morning person? What's going on?
Or that would be understandable if you have a super flexible schedule. You go in at like 11 or noon and you stay late. But clearly, she doesn't have that kind of flexibility at this job.
Well, I don't know. She arrived to work and the day was already kind of like everybody was already there when she arrived at work. So she worked late. Everyone left. So maybe she does have something of an open schedule. She comes in at like noon.
She freaks out because she's late.
That's true.
So she's probably doing that because she has to. Clearly, they're not happy with her. She's doodling pictures of the devil.
And here's where she gets the catitude.
Oh.
Why is there so much close shots of the Merovingian? I don't understand.
Ah, the Merovingian.
Oh no! What did I do?
Oh no!
Man, being a cat's terrible.
Oh man! Don't say you don't mean it. Once you do it, you gotta own that.
This feels like an intimate portrayal of borderline personality disorder. That's actually what's going on with Halle Berry. Where she's like now snapping in and out of like, being strong-willed and
Maybe it's dissociative.
she might be dissociative. She's got a little dissociative identity. We'll be playing around with psychological terms.
And one of her personalities believes that a cat breathed on her.
And believes she is a cat. And now she's going to go to the crazy cat lady and be like,
whoa,
Catwoman.
Cleavage.
Holy cleave.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Alex Borstein, she's got it going on in the boobs department.
And that like,
That sexy
boom
voice.
Shot. That boom shot from above certainly
Right?
didn't hurt with showing off the assets.
They're like, yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say. I lost it because this movie is. So
Were you going to
stupid.
be
Perfect.
speaking for the boobs or?
No, I wasn't. I was
Okay.
gonna speak for like the filmmakers, but I lost it. I
Is
know.
that
I actually.
stone
It was,
a cat's eye?
what just happened?
Why did your friend pass out? What happened?
She just realized what movie she was in.
Oh, yeah.
But
you'd have that.
I'll be here all week, folks. No, she passed out because of the makeup. The makeup is hurting her.
Oh. Are they gonna put her on like a turntable and
She's
show a creepy
obsessed with
shot of her?
guys. Yeah. No, they didn't.
Okay, we don't know what's wrong with her. They ran a million tests.
And she's just talking about guys. She's interested in guys. She's like, I'm dying, but the doctor was a hottie. Because this is how girls talk.
In
It's true.
this universe where showgirls also exists.
Somewhere, scary sex monster.
Can we do that one next?
Scary sex.
Can we do that one next?
We should do showgirls. It's amazing. We will. We'll do showgirls.
Okay.
Maybe in April we'll do showgirls.
So I mostly know Alex Borstein from Mad TV, but I'm trying to place exactly what characters it is that I remember.
Isn't that the
her
Miss
as.
Swan?
Was she Miss Swan?
I don't know.
Like that's one of the female characters from Mad TV.
I think so. I don't know. Let's find out.
He's like,
Let's ask
I'm
the
a
internet.
cop, but I'm a super cool cop, and I basically don't do anything. Look at him. He's so nice. He's talking
Talking to the kids.
Yep, she was Miss Swan.
Bam.
Mad TV. Nicely
Bam.
done, Dana.
Basically the
Mike,
coolest cop ever.
I would drop this mic, but it would cause terrible reverb and
It would sound a lot like
commentary.
when I accidentally hit mine with the coffee cup
Except
earlier.
worse.
in this.
That was loud.
Hopefully we can, at least bring the volume of that impact down a little in
I
post
might-
so we don't bust out the speakers.
I try to replace that audio with like something.
Just get like, Looney Tunes sound effects.
Boom.
Anything
Bonk.
that Wile E. Coyote had.
You're gonna get like a bonk sound effect. Like, bonk.
Bonk.
The camera won't stop moving. I can
Yeah,
just see the cinematography be like, so seriously, you just want me to like walk around them?
The whole time?
Like the whole time?
There's never any static
The,
shots?
the
Like-
shot's gonna get dizzying, you know that, right? Look at this.
Oh, this
What?
is where she shows off her mad cat
So
basketball
like he was
skills.
like, hey, let's go on a date, but I'm gonna have you pick me up at school.
Oh yeah, my cat can do that.
What the hell? Yeah, well, she's got some Teen Wolf style abilities here.
It's true.
God, the camera.
The abilities of a Teen Wolf and a Catwoman are almost identical when it comes to basketball.
Nice.
I'm gonna take it back and say that Pitoff is also slightly to blame for this because the camera is just too floaty. It's driving me insane. It just won't stop.
Oh.
And the editing. Oh
Yeah, it's getting
God,
a
some of
little
these
dizzying.
shots are just like
Whoa.
awful. They're not
it
even
feels like the
artistic.
sort of thing that like music video directors do the first time they try to edit
Yeah, like this
a
looks like a-
narrative.
In the 90s.
Yeah,
Looks like,
exactly.
yeah, this looks like a '90s Coca-Cola commercial. Like
They
working
just
out at
discovered the
basketball.
fisheye lens.
Oh yeah, and those low camera angles
What?
and of course the butt cam. It's all about
This
the
is
butt cam.
Terrible. What?
And I'm pretty sure this is the thong song that's playing right
I hate
now.
this movie.
Also, this isn't like they interrupted grown men playing or high schoolers even. These are
What?
like children playing basketball. They've absconded their ball and they're doing all this sexual stuff right in front of them while the kids don't get to play anymore.
Kids like it. They're into it.
Can we? Yeah, no. Can we have our ball back? Yeah. What the hell are you two doing?
Like seriously, stop like foreplaying on our basketball court. I believe actually that song was "Scandalous" by Mystique, if I recall.
There's Sharon Stone. She was in this movie and Basic Instinct, and then pretty much didn't do anything else. I like Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
She's a great actress, and it's a shame that like this is one of those movies that just sort of like it just ruins her career. It just because she hasn't really done a lot since this movie. I mean, she's done some
Well-
stuff. She's been in some good movies since this movie, but like has not made a mark. Like it was kind of a big deal when she was cast in this, and then just sort of like ever since, just nothing.
I feel like she's one of the people who like got it she
knows
she had a
she's
full
shit.
grasp of what she was in and kind of embraced. Like, look at this.
Look at that.
She's
Look at this
dripping.
shot.
She's dripping with camp. She gets
Oh, yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
she just broke that candy glass.
And it didn't cut her. Again, does she have cat powers too? Oh,
does.
what the hell?
Oh.
This is just sad.
This is sad. Yeah, this is not good. This is bad. Look at that. Come on, HB. Oh, is she going to talk about how she wants guys?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some guy talk in here.
She's taking a call at the
At the-
hospital front desk.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yep,
They
there
couldn't
we go.
shoot in her room
Cute
for some
cop
reason.
talk.
Yeah.
Talking about guys
Oh my God.
like women do.
This is
They're
a
gonna
movie that is like loaded with women that can't pass the Bechdel test because it like can't have them stop talking about guys for like 5 minutes.
That is absolutely true.
It probably does pass the Bechdel because I'm sure toward the end.
There's at least one conversation
least
that's
one.
not.
But Mike, it's like they're trying
mean,
not to pass the test.
Yeah, I mean, they work together. She's got superpowers. There are all kinds of things they could be talking about that aren't
Guys.
boys. And no, just no.
God, this movie is so bad.
It really is.
It reminds me, like Sony makes a lot of movies like this, where particularly like animated movies like The Smurfs, where they take something that's sort of classic that everyone kind of likes, and then they pop it up. You know, and they're like, Smurfs, we've got a dubstep song now.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the
yeah.
Chipmunks or the Garfield movies.
Right.
Like Fox and Sony have a habit of like making really pop culture infused junk food.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie really fits into that category of just, this is junk food. This is not a good, like the movie Steel with Shaquille O'Neal is not a good movie. It's based on the Cyborg character or whatever, or not? Is it Cyborg? No, it's based on the Man of Steel. Like during the Superman dies, it's sort of loosely based on that. But like its intentions are noble. It's it's produced by a bunch of producers who were interested very specifically in making something that was like for inner city kids.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be a good hero. It had really good intentions. It just Shaquille O'Neal was in the middle of playing basketball and like wasn't very committed to the role, and the costume doesn't look good, the budget really wasn't there, and the movie ultimately isn't very good. This movie though has really no excuse, and is just very clearly built with the intention of like, we're going to take this popular brand and then we're going to make whatever the fuck movie we want to make because we don't really give a shit about that brand,
Right.
and we're going to release it, and it's going to make gobs of money because all comic book movies make money. But I think in particular, genre fans, science fiction fans, fantasy fans, comic book fans, they want authenticity.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that as opposed to like, properties from people's childhood, like the Smurfs or, things like Garfield movies or any of those we talked about.
You don't really remember them anyway.
Yeah, you were a kid. There might be some nostalgia there, but it's not like there's not that many people, and I won't say there aren't any, but there aren't that many people in the world that are really, really zealots about Smurf authenticity.
Yeah, like we just we're recording this commentary shortly after the all-female Ghostbusters trailer has come out, and like there's a very intense response, and I think the response is fear that it's like this, that it's going to be something that doesn't respect the source material, is pop culture infused, and ultimately stupid.
Right.
That was the fear with the Ninja Turtles movie, which was about half true.
Right.
I don't think it was entirely true. I think the Ninja Turtles movie is strong. I just think it was a bad concept that they managed to make a semi-decent movie out of.
Yep.
That's entertaining, but the sequel looks even better.
And I think Ninja Turtles actually like walks the as
It
a
walks the
property.
line.
It walks that line of like people having that really passionate response to it, and it just being a fun part of their childhood. Like I feel like Ninja Turtles it's a little bit less of an obsessive fan base than the Batman's fan base is.
So Halle Berry just dressed like
wait.
Rihanna.
There are so many bad things that have
Before Rihanna was
happened
around.
since you started the conversation about the Smurfs and whatnot. First of all, she goes and like freaks out at this party because apparently, I mean, I don't know.
She's learning how to be assertive. Apparently, being a cat has taught her to be
I
assertive.
know, but like,
I mean,
here's
cats
the
are
thing.
kind of assholes.
Yeah,
They
yeah, okay, but like, why did the music bother her so much? Dee Dee can sleep through the apocalypse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She doesn't give a shit. That wouldn't bother her sleep.
Dee Dee-
And what she would do is she'd just walk up and be like, "Meow,
Dee
meow."
Dee is also.
She wouldn't like kick down the door and beat anyone up.
That would have been great if Halle Berry had just like stood outside the door and like scratched at it and made meowing
just like-
noises.
Yeah, that would be more realistic to
Meow.
cat powers. Then she just gives herself this killer haircut.
I
Well,
do have to say,
that's
like,
not
I'm
working.
pretty sure Rihanna pretty well stole the Halle Berry
And-
Catwoman's entire
And
look.
she found
Yeah.
this outfit in this emergency date box at the bottom of her closet. What the hell was that?
That's something that Alex Borstein did.
Ah.
Now, one thing that this movie does get right is that my cat Dee Dee is actually really good motorcyclist.
Oh.
So that makes sense. She's very good on a motorcycle.
That is a talent.
Where did she
goes
get
for
that
mice and cats.
We didn't see her steal that. Yeah.
She was looking at it in the window, though, I think.
No, there was a different mouse.
Oh.
Or different mask. You said mouse and it just got stuck in my head.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is one of those. Yeah, this is the best that her character is this scene. This scene, she kind of gets the whole perfect thing. She's a cat burglar.
Mm-hmm.
She's, robbing a, she's, wow, they are really okay murdering her. They're like, we don't care. We're going to
yeah,
steal this
seriously.
shit and murder. Like, usually cat burglars are not murderers. Usually it's kind of the opposite. They're just more interested in stealing shit.
Yep.
Shit that is, covered by insurance.
Right. They're like, we're gonna steal this, but we know that no actual people are gonna get hurt, just insurance companies. Nobody likes insurance companies,
Yeah.
so. CG. Yep.
So stupid.
I think it's interesting that this haircut. I don't think it was when this movie came out, but I feel like since.
It's popular now.
Well, this haircut is sort of a little bit of the like waspy bitchy mom haircut now.
Yeah.
Like it's officially the haircut of I want to talk to your manager.
Oh my gosh.
I do remember around this era, the spiky back thing was really popular. Like women had a lot of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a lot of women, and this is similar to that.
And I think it's that the ones that have kept that going are
Yeah,
the ones that
they're all
have,
moms now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're all-
everybody I know who had that as a mom,
Mhm.
and is probably a bitchy mom. But this is also sort of the Rihanna hairdo. I mean, it really is. This is a very Rihanna-like outfit. She really looks like Rihanna in this movie, which is, I don't think I've watched this movie since Rihanna has become something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really odd to see and sort of see the Rihanna. There's probably people who are big fans of Rihanna who are just like, you're insane. What you are saying makes no sense. That's not the way Rihanna is at all. How'd she get up there so quick?
Cat powers.
Why didn't she just take that mask?
Yeah, you might want to use that again. It seems like a good fit
it's a
for your
good-
look.
This is where they got the outfit right, and then they change it, and the outfit's awful.
So did she take anything?
She took all of that.
Oh, okay. I see. That's her.
She stopped the cat burglars and then cat burgled herself.
Okay.
So it's
so
not-
why did she care so much that they were robbing? Why'd she bother?
Why were
stopping
they
them?
robbing at the same time she was thinking about
Right.
robbing? That's a better question.
That's
This movie works on...
that's called movie magic, Randy.
This movie works on irony. Just like we watched Jurassic World the other day, and I said, the real skill of the Indominus Rex is that it picked an ironic time to break free, because the owner of Jurassic World is there, the military contract guy is there wanting to launch the Raptors.
Yep.
Claire's two nephews are showing up at the same exact time, and Chris Pratt's character happens to be there as well at the same time.
Because this dinosaur has been there for a while.
It's been
they
there for at least a
established.
couple months,
Well, it's full grown.
but it is growth accelerated.
okay.
So I think it's been a few months.
Okay. It's
But,
not
like,
just like that week though.
It's the same day that he goes to like check the paddock for security. Is the same day it breaks out. Is the same day the kids are there. Is the same day the owner is there. Is the same day the bat. And like really the dinosaur's biggest trick is ironically choosing which day to break out.
That's a fair point.
the Indominus Rex is like, what's the most ironic day to break free today?
So it is interesting since we were discussing Rihanna and all that. This film came out 1 year before her first hit, because Pon de Replay was from 2005 and this came out in
Cats
2004.
dot women.
So
Yeah. It's an odd thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What the?
Well, she Googled cats.women.
Cats.women.
Yes.
I didn't know that .women at that point was a top-level
Yeah.
domain name.
Well, it was cats, period, space, women. That was
Yeah.
her
Okay,
search term.
cats, space,
Cats.
women.
Yeah, but there was a period after
Yes.
cats. It's
Devils.
unclear why there was a period after cats.
You're like, wait,
Cats
I've
are
seen this.
devils.
This was the credits.
Cats of ancient Egypt.
This is,
We're seeing it again.
This is the opening credits again.
Ugh. Typing. Apple paid for this scene.
Oh my god.
Apple was like,
It
None
really
of
is the exact picture.
none
from
of
the
this
opening
is
credits.
relevant to what's happening to me, but
But
I'm gonna
learning
look at
so
it
much about
astonished.
cats.
Yeah.
she's gonna go back to the woman, and the woman's gonna be like, "You are Catwoman."
It all
Hear
makes
you
sense
roar.
now. Mitten-
Because there's no other
Midnight.
cat that's ever looked like that cat. That is a
Midnight?
unique cat. Therefore, it must
What?
have been there throughout history.
Is this Gotham? Do we even have a indicator as to what city this is?
Oh.
This is the worst Gotham ever.
It's
knew you'd come
CG
back.
City, I believe.
When you were ready.
CG City. I'm surprised the city doesn't have like some, cat. Like, you are in Philinicus. The city of Philinicus. My God, she's got all these cats. God, this is so terrible. The cat's trying to cover it like a poop.
Like, this book is shit. I need to cover it up.
Book is shit. This movie is shit. They're her messengers.
Oh my gosh. You wrote this?
I was a professor of catology.
Man, academia is why I didn't get tenure, not because I'm fucking crazy.
It's just rowdy, the goddess
Not
of
because I was trying to start a cat cult.
Not because the material that I spent my 20 years studying was absolutely useless to college academia. No. It was those men.
I'm just waiting.
It's always those men.
But,
You are Catwoman.
apparently she's able to afford quite the lovely house
I know,
in
right?
CG City.
Right? I'll take this place.
Yeah.
You died. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Oh, okay. Never mind. You died. You were reborn.
You are a crazy cat lady.
Is that the first time that the phrase crazy cat lady has been used in this film?
I believe so.
Okay. It's certainly not the first time it's been used in this podcast commentary.
Oh God,
You're
here it comes.
worthy
it's
of the
coming.
gift.
It's coming. Oh my God.
Here it is.
Are they gonna
Here
kiss?
it is.
Are they gonna kiss?
Right?
No.
Meow.
She always lands on
Oh my God. Not alone. You saved others.
Right. Meow.
Wait, the cat's a boy? You were complaining about males earlier, and the cat's
Yeah.
a boy. Why not make the cat a girl?
You would think.
Just so it's a female empowerment. Cat women are not contained by the rules. I want that as a shirt. Cat women are not contained by the rules of society.
That would sell. Cat women are not contained
I saw
by
a
the
shirt.
rules of society.
I saw a shirt from comedian Sarah Benincasa the other day that said, "I want the confidence of a mediocre white male." Yeah, there it is. You are a cat woman. Yeah, I think it was you have. I want the self confidence of a mediocre white person. Loved it. That was great. You have inhuman reflexes.
So I'm not Patience anymore?
Does that mean she's gonna be like scared of shadows and shit like that? There it is. You are Catwoman. That's the actual.
There
line.
it is.
You are
There's
Catwoman.
the quote. There's the quote. You
Here,
are Catwoman.
take this stupid mask. It's very stupid. Wear it,
Accept it.
child. You spent a lifetime caged.
Like a kitten.
You are the one who is Catwoman. You will be the Catwoman.
I feel like at this point we've like run out of creative and interesting things to say.
Oh.
And now we're just like trying to hold on and grit our teeth through
Come on, movie.
through the rest of
We
the movie.
can do it.
How much more is left of this film?
Like an hour.
Oh God.
You saved my life, Midnight.
Um,
But somebody killed me.
okay, so did she get this mask from what's her face?
Yes, because she is Catwoman.
Okay, but this mask is really stupid.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
really stupid.
Yes,
Okay.
We're about to see it.
but she's
Here we go.
Catwoman.
And then they play like sexy, sassy music. Like she's wearing high heels now. This outfit with like all torn up, and they think it's gonna be so badass. Like, why did you think this was going to be badass? Why did you think this would work?
Her ass looks like a Rorschach.
I see stupid.
Yep.
Even like the Sin City world, they're all just like, this is too much.
Okay, that wasn't the mask she was holding though.
That's the mask she was holding. She just redesigned it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. The
it does
exact
look
one,
totally
yeah.
different though.
The one that she had did not have a
CG.
back, and it was a full face.
Yeah.
This
It's
is only a
true.
half face.
So she gave her the mask, and then she's
like,
she decided,
nah.
I'm not actually
Never
doing that."
mind.
This mask is terrible.
I'm gonna make it worse.
What? How did she make that jump? That was like probably 30 feet.
She's Catwoman.
You are Catwoman. Look at all this floaty, dead-eyed CG.
This is
Dead-eyed.
worse than the first Spider-Man movies.
I want her to
jumping
fight.
CG.
I want her to fight the Scorpion King, which is like the most dead-eyed CG effect I've ever seen.
I remember seeing which Mummy movie was it that the Scorpion King shows up?
The second one, Mummy
The second one.
Returns.
I remember seeing that in the theaters, and even in theaters, like then I was thinking like, wow, that looks so bad.
Yeah. I remember my friend being like, "It looks like it's made of clay. Like, it just has no expression whatsoever. It's just this like putty thing." Yeah, that one stands up for me as one really bad. And then Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the finale of the movie, has some of the worst, just some of the absolute worst CG I've seen. And Spawn.
Oh, Spawn.
Yeah. Oh my God, the effects in Spawn. The effects were so. They were so late on getting the effects turned in on that movie. There were so many effects shots that the movie was finished like just a few days before it went out to, the prints were basically still wet when they arrived at the, at the theaters. That's how late they were to releasing that one.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the bad guy at the end, like the devil character, like his mouth doesn't even move. He speaks, but his mouth doesn't move. He looks like a PlayStation 2 effect. It's so bad. But those are some of the worst CG that I've seen.
This is a real inconspicuous.
So you
I
want
go
milk.
I go to the bar dressed with a mask all the time.
Sure.
They let me in.
Cream straight up.
This outfit doesn't seem like conducive for crime fighting.
Well, I mean, that's not limited to this film. A lot of outfits don't.
I wish she had Christian Bale's Batman voice.
Oh, God.
I'll have a white Russian. Hold the vodka and the ice. Thank you. Oh my God, the frantic editing. I hate this movie.
Oh God, this is so bad.
I remember, Dana, I believe this was the first bad movie I ever showed you. And
No, that's not true.
You did not want to watch it.
We went to the theater and saw this.
No, we did not go to the theater. We did not. You're thinking of Alien versus Predator.
I am not.
We
I remember
we
that
definitely
event.
did not, because I refused to pay to see this movie.
Well, I mean, it does have a whole 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There's someone who liked this piece of shit.
I need to find.
Let's
positive
read that review. Let's read
let
the
me-
one or two positive reviews.
let me track that down.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's worth.
Apparently, there was a positive review of this film.
Film 4, Rhoda.
From Film 4, there's one, and Bangor Daily News in Maine.
But he's calling it a camp film, which I think that discredits. Like, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine if you think it's a good camp, because it's a good campy movie.
All right,
but
that's fair.
But like, I want to see like somebody who doesn't acknowledge that it's campy and just is like, no, I like it. I just like it.
Here's efilmcritic.com. Let me see if there's an unabashed "I like this film" in
This
these
is a
reviews.
good movie. There's usually one critic, and with every bad movie, there's always one critic who wants to get notoriety for liking a bad movie. Sort of takes the contrarian viewpoint and writes a negative review, and everyone else is writing positive, or vice versa. So I'm curious, is it?
Here we go.
Is
Here
it Armand
we go.
White? Because Armand White is very notorious for that.
No,
If you
it's
don't know
Vince
Armand
Kohler and at Entertainment Spectrum. This was a review from 2004, so it was at the time of the original release, and it starts out, I was pleasantly surprised with this new outing for Halle Berry. It had some of the same characteristics that made Spider-Man so terrific. Good character development,
There you
great villains, and likable co-stars.
What? Wow.
Yep. When she dons the sexy Catwoman leather suit,
What?
Halle, misspelled, by the way, Halle, becomes a whip-snapping superhero.
As we
Well, that
see
was
right
good
there.
timing.
Yeah. Good timing.
Halle described the film as a popcorn-eating, ass-whooping summer action adventure with a humor, a sweet with a humor. There was only one humor in the whole thing, folks. A sweet love story and a lot of cat fights. She is a little bit good and a little bit naughty.
It seems like this person just had a hard-on for her throughout the entire
Yeah.
movie. Like it just hadn't been laid in a while.
Yeah. One of my friends who is an action movie fan liked this film better than Spider-Man.
What?
So
What
there
crack were
is-
they smoking when they went to see this movie?
There is a positive review for you of...
This would be a movie like if you asked me to write a positive review, I'd have a really hard time. Because I mean, the only thing I could say is that it's sometimes pretty, you know, but it's not really very good. So it's not good. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, it's the one above this in Rotten Tomatoes. The blurb is "It's really painful to watch," which I will get more on board with that review. Let me see if there are any other unabashedly positive reviews. The only thing that here we go. Jeffrey M. Anderson from Combustible Celluloid,
Which is a website that's probably gone up.
Yeah.
That's me.
Here we go.
Merovingian.
The blurb. Where'd it go? I had it. It went away. All right, give me 1 second. I will find this. for you.
Why are her mashed potatoes like? Are they sweet potatoes? Because there's like orange potatoes on her.
Well, they're not going to show them again, so
No,
I
they're
don't
not.
know.
Damn it! And when the cutting is so fast, you
Bam,
probably couldn't
bam,
even see
bam.
it. Throw that shit out in the biohazard trash.
Right.
Police.
Okay, so here's some little extracts.
Okay. Keep going.
Barry and Pitoff take a cue from Michelle Pfeiffer's delicious turn in 1992's Batman Returns, emphasizing our heroine's sheer joy of movement, but making her less psychotic and more confused.
What?
Barry looks like $1,000,000 throughout, either with or without her kinky cat ears and sex goddess makeup. She's alluringly unattainable. Aided by Spider-Man-like CGI, Catwoman springs all around this ultra-modern but darkly cartoonish city, and it's a thing of beauty. Cinematographer Theory Arbogast, the Fifth Element, keeps the action spectacularly clear, even if the editing sometimes flip-flops faster than you can blink. At least he got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crazy fast editing. Stone has perhaps her best role since Casino.
What?
What? Yeah, exactly. So he thought Sharon Stone was great in this as the bitchy, sullen drama queen who stops at nothing in her fight against wrinkles.
Oh my god.
This is ridiculous.
The movie even unleashes a very funny surprise having to do with her skin and her years of beauty product applications.
That's absolutely horrible.
Yep. This hilarious, sexy, exciting farce is instead so consistently surprising and dazzling that I'm still not sure if it's a good bad movie or a good movie, but I can't wait to see it again.
I
So
bet
there you go.
that person really regrets what
There
they said.
you go.
They probably are like, oh, this was, oh my god, no one's gonna take
What
me
have I
seriously.
done?
It's like writing a positive review of Troll 2. You just like, I think you have to acknowledge it's not good, and then you can write a positive review, but you have to acknowledge so that people aren't just like completely angry about it.
Right. So yeah, there were, upon release, there were overwhelmingly positive. I'm not saying the reviews in general were overwhelmingly positive, but there were some reviews that in their take were
half a dozen.
overwhelmingly positive. Yep.
Ugh.
Yep.
Just taking in all the visuals here.
So there's about 40 minutes left in this film.
Yeah, there
That's a lot.
That's a lot of minutes left. I feel
Yeah.
like they could have easily cut out about 10 minutes of her discovering uninteresting ways that she's like a cat. You know, like craving tuna and, you know, weird things like that. We could have streamlined. We could have gotten to the interesting cat stuff. Interesting,
You
quote
think
unquote.
there's interesting
I
cat stuff
quote
in this movie.
unquote.
Like sitting in boxes and killing mice.
Yeah, I think there's a few. Like again, it does. I think you're right in that it's trying to emulate Sam Raimi's humor, but you have a visually dynamic director who's directing it with I want to say something of like a French tone, because it does have that Jean-Pierre Jeunet. It has that sort of quirky, weird.
But no, you're absolutely right.
Amelie style,
Or City of Lost Children.
City of Lost Children.
Yeah.
Plus, it's sort of this stylistic of Sam Raimi that's not really working well with that particular. Those two styles are just not meshing. And I think it's also a combination of bad script and bad producers working on this. Not everybody probably, but there's one or two that just don't get the product. It's an interesting thing because, like, you know, Deadpool was a big hit, came out, it's a big hit, and everybody has been talking about that movie. And you know, there's a lot of people misinterpreting why it's a hit. You have a lot of fans who just don't really realize why they like it so much and are sitting there going, you know, it's because it's R. It's rated R. That's why. You know, and like now you see Hollywood kind of taking the wrong messages, which is we need to make more R-rated movies. We need to make more R-rated superhero movies. No, you need to make stuff that is loyal to the source material.
Right, and if it hadn't been rated R, it would not have been that.
It would not be.
You could not make a an appropriate Deadpool film and have it be PG-13. Like you couldn't manage to be faithful to the source material. And
Absolutely.
do that. So,
Okay, wait. Why did Studley Cop have to jump from the top car of the Ferris wheel all the way to the ground to be the one to fix the mechanical problems going on inside of the Ferris wheel?
So that he wasn't all impotent, just sitting in the chair while Halle Berry saves.
I guess,
saves the
but
day.
like, there is nothing about his background that would make him the one qualified to fix the technical problems with the Ferris wheel. And there was hundreds of people standing below that could have done what he did without jumping from the top car. I don't know.
That's
I feel
a
like
solid
his
point.
I
That
feel
is a
like his
solid
skills
point.
could have been better used in, I don't know, also helping people on the Ferris wheel. He's a detective. He doesn't have
Why does she get so
any of
close
these
to the
skills.
camera? It's so annoying. She's just
It's
like,
dark. She can't tell that it's there. She just wants to give the camera rubbies. She's like, oh,
Yeah,
that looks
she's
like
like,
something I
boom,
want to rub
bang right into
against
it.
it. Back on the front of reviews at the time, Eric D. Snyder commented, "I've never cared much for cats anyway, but this clinches it. Next time I see one, I'm going to kick it into the river." So that's
Oh, poor gatitos.
oh, los gatitos.
Don't you know what? Don't use this movie as a judgment on all cats. That doesn't seem fair.
that's not fair.
Hashtag not all cats.
Exactly.
Oh, she tripped for no reason. Oh, she got hit by okay. Never mind.
By Sharon
This is
Stone
stupid.
in her best role since
Since Casino.
it's
This is
Casino.
the best role since Casino. That's insane.
Look at her smolder.
That is an
She's
insane
smoldering.
thing to say. That almost feels like an insult.
I would say
I mean,
so.
that legitimately feels like an insult. Like, this is your best movie since Casino. So in like 10 years since Casino, this is the best movie.
So I'm not sure how you've been feeling about your career, but you can, sort of set it by that.
You can quantify it by that qualifier and enjoy.
Yeah, her mask looks so bad.
It's terrible.
It's like way taller than her head.
The other one was better.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they just would get rid of that costume, if they keep the costume and just change the mask and go back with it, would be better. But even the original outfit, they literally have it right in the first scene.
No, they got it right in the.
They got
whole,
it right, and then they
taking
changed
down
it.
the burglars at the jewelry store. Like that was perfect. That was a great look.
Something tells me that was added later.
Oh, you think?
I have a feeling that was something that after they announced this outfit and the response was really negative, they went back and shot a scene where she does what Catwoman does in Cat Burgles, and I have a feeling that it just reeks of something they added later, which is why she leaves the mask there, because it makes no sense that she leaves the mask there. She steals a bunch of jewelry but leaves the mask there. What's the point?
Well, and then she returns the jewelry in the bag that says sorry.
Yeah, and he kind of figures out it's her right off the bat, but then doesn't really do anything about it.
No, you're not a suspect because you're hot.
So you're hot, and I want to put my penis inside you. He doesn't. in the end.
Spoilers.
Call the cops.
You're not gonna believe this. There's a woman dressed like a crazy sex addict. She's like got a cat outfit on. I don't know. There's the Merovingian. Still acting like the Merovingian. Like this guy is pretty much capable of delivering one
I don't know if I've
style.
seen him in anything
Outside.
apart from this and
The Matrix.
and then whichever Matrix movie that was. That was the second one,
This
right?
looks like an Avatar play or something.
This is actually the inspiration for Avatar. But yeah, he's basically playing the exact same role as the Merovingian.
Yeah. Oh,
That's gonna smart.
Meanwhile, Avatar is going on in the background.
Get your paws off me.
Oh my god. I feel like James Cameron watched this movie and he was just so entranced by what was going on in the background he created Avatar. It was like, Avatar, I'm gonna do it.
It wasn't in fact Fern Gully. It was this stage play
Fern Gully.
from Catwoman.
You never know. You never know. But those do look like the things you touch and they get like smaller. Boobs. Just bent down. They did that so that you could see her boobs.
Yep.
This was
Because
totally
they're pre-covered otherwise.
In case you weren't aware, there are boobs in this scene. Here, look at them. That was an interesting little like quick cut to her crotch and then back out. I'm not sure what was intended by that decision.
It was a subliminal crotch shot.
Like, and now you're thinking of crotches.
All right. Positive things to say about Catwoman. Right as she models for the camera. It's pretty looking at times.
Yeah, there's some fun production design in here.
It is
colorful.
campy. It's campy. If you're a fan of camp, the problem I think is that it is campy, but it's so unaware of its campiness that it's like not as funny. That, and I mean, they spent a lot of money on the movie. This was a fairly pricey picture, and so they spent a lot of money, and that makes it kind of not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I remember that's what you described it as, Dana. You were bummed out that they spent so much money on a bad movie, and you couldn't enjoy it as much because it's expensive. This is not a cheap film. It's probably like $100 million movie,
Right?
If not more. I'm looking it up now, just to see how much money this cost to make, because it, you know, it's bad. It's a bad movie. How did they not know? How did they not know? They knew. It was a $100 million movie and it made $82 million. Whoops.
Box office success right there.
Yeah. And it's been used as the measure for why we haven't seen female superheroes ever since. And again,
Such
source
bullshit.
material.
Which
Source
is
material.
so stupid. Yeah, it's
You keep something close to the source material, you'll get it right. If you don't, you get this. You have to make a movie that is true to the source material, particularly when you're dealing with comics, fantasy, science fiction. Those are the kind of unforgivable genres.
mm-hmm.
And you see people have really nasty reactions. Like Ghostbusters, I could see like a year from now, people being like, "Oh, the female Ghostbusters was great," because if it's good, they'll forgive it. If it's not good, they won't forgive it. They'll be really nasty to it. The movie Creed, which was the latest Rocky film, was one that I was really worried was going to fall prey to that because it's now black actors taking the lead. I could see the wrong producers trying to tailor it to a demographic and just misfiring the whole movie. And then you get a movie that doesn't play to the right audience. But as it stands, despite any potential apprehension that exists, when the trailers come out and the film comes out, you're just like, nope, that's not what they did. They made a good movie. That's awesome.
Well, and that's true of this. That's true of that. That's a great example where it was just excellent material that the creators were really passionate about that happened to be black centric.
Yeah.
Versus, we need to have a superhero movie with a woman in it, and then like building around that concept instead of like just having excellent material that happens to be female centric.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that hard.
Yeah. I mean, and this really feels like something that just somebody owned the rights to this. Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to produce something since 1993, and they even were interested in trying to get Burton to do it. Michelle Pfeiffer was trying to do it. It sat in development hell. Ashley Judd at one point was attached in like 2001. Nicole Kidman was attached when Ashley Judd stepped down, and then Halle Berry brought her on. So this was largely built around the time that Batman Forever was a big hit. And so, you know, knowing that it was sort of built around that time during sort of a tumultuous comic book period, plus being shaped over multitudes of, you know, you're looking at a span of about 20 years to make this movie. You know, by the time they find, you know, a lot of times you either get something like Mad Max Fury Road, where that 20 years of development and passion leads to something that is just transcendent, or you just get trash. You know, there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. Superman Returns sort of comes to me. Not that I think it's a bad movie or anything like that. It's okay. I don't think it's terrible, but it's a movie that went through development hell for close to 20 years, and the ultimate result is underwhelming because of all the time and effort, and ultimately the ideas chosen feel more like decisions made out of apathy than creativity and passion.
And that's an excellent example. No one said, "Oh, we shouldn't make male starring superhero movies after that one underperformed." They didn't even say, "Let's stop making Superman movies after that one underperformed." They just rebooted it, you know.
Though
but
they
like,
waited about 10 years.
then that's fine.
But they weren't like, it's because this is a man in the
Right.
lead role.
It's a man. We'll try it again. Be like, no, this was just wrong actress, wrong time, wrong script, wrong director, wrong creative choices, wrong costume choices. You know, this is a movie. It's not a movie where every decision is wrong, but I'd say it's a movie where like 75% of the decisions are wrong.
I was gonna go 80 to 85.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because it's 80 to 85, it's not as funny as a best worst movie like A Room or a Troll 2 or something like that. Like, it doesn't really, it embodies some of the qualities. It's closer in line maybe with Showgirls, but Showgirls even gets, I'd say Showgirls, outside of the horrific rape scene that happens in Showgirls, I'd say Showgirls gets like 95% wrong. Even the rape scene is wrong. Like, how they shot it, how they delivered it, how they did everything in that was, the rape scene was bad. But it is a better representation than
And like
of a good bad movie.
And when lines are bad, I'm laughing. Where here, I'm just like, why? Why did you say that?
I feel like there's a lot more like just sighing and face palming in response to the, you know, the dialogue and such in this movie, as opposed to like laughter at like, oh my god, that's so terrible.
Maybe I just had lower expectations of the stripper movie. I don't know.
Maybe. We certainly are not the only ones to note the Showgirls comparison. Robert K. Elder of the Chicago Tribune, when this first came out, referred to it as the Showgirls of superhero movies.
Which, I mean, I would say is still fair. Conversely, I do, having sort of that insight of like, you know, Halle Berry delivering a complex character, there's some truth to that. There's some truth that like her character is discovering a lot about herself in the movie. None of it's good. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But I mean, in terms of her performance, like if she was trying to draw something real out of this, that was what she was going for. And while I don't think the material is strong enough to really punctuate that in any kind of like strong emotional way, I'd say that's what she's trying to do, is do a movie about a woman who becomes assertive and is empowered by it. And you know, she's being herself, and when she gets frustrated, she takes care of situations, and she doesn't put up with shit, and she kind of goes for what she wants. She goes for the cop. She goes for the job. She goes, you know, she talks back to her boss. Does it work? No, but that was probably the intention, and for all intents and purposes, I don't think Halle Berry is to blame. I think she's to blame in that she was incorrectly cast. I don't think she's appropriate for the film. If this were not a movie about Catwoman, and this were just a movie about some young girl who, you know, learns to be assertive with her life, and that was the movie, it would be a significantly better movie for Halle Berry. It'd be a better vehicle for Halle Berry. Because Halle Berry does, I think, tend to embody a sort of weak, strong female. You know, somebody who's a little bit, like, she can play vulnerable really easily, but can also kind of play strong and confident. And that is her strength. and that's one of the reasons why she won an Academy Award. It's just sometimes I think her choices are not necessarily the best on the planet. And she's miscast. I don't know who I would in 2004 who I would have cast.
I mean, is
but
she
I
miscast?
don't
Like, who would have been able to work with this material? Who? It's. I think it's the material.
I think the material got shaped around her though. I think it got shaped around the kind of movies that she liked doing, and it became a different product when she stepped on board. I mean, just to see that they had, the last person they were looking at was Nicole Kidman and Ashley Judd. They were looking at a very different kind of movie because those are two different, very different style performers from Halle Berry. They're two different. I mean, Ashley Judd versus Nicole Kidman. There's a pretty strong difference between the two actors, and so I would say that the film kind of. Yeah, I'd say that the movie kind of got tailored at probably Halle Berry once she came on. Her people probably tailored the movie a little bit more to function in that way, and that probably caused some issue. Is she bad in the movie? I mean, I think there's a point to be made that I think that she's doing the best with the material she can, because it is not good material.
Right.
And she's doing the best she can. It's not perfect. Her and Sharon Stone, I think, deliver in an otherwise bad movie. Actually, are working hard to deliver something that has weight to it. It doesn't work again because the material sucks. I don't in 2004 know who I would cast though. I'm trying to think of who was around in 2004 who would have worked. Because I don't really think Nicole Kidman or Ashley Judd would really work either. I can't really see them doing it even in 2004. I want to say that's around the time Charlize Theron is sort of kicking around, and Charlize Theron would probably be the strongest choice. Charlize, who was in Monster around the time this came out, I believe, this was when she appeared in Monster. 2003 was Monster, so this would have been a good
year before.
This would have been a good movie for her to probably pop up in as Catwoman. In terms of if you wanted to go with a black actress, Angela Bassett is always the go-to. Because Angela Bassett is like the most like fan cast black actress I think I know of. Like whenever there's a requirement for a black actress, they're always like all the fans are always like Angela Bassett. And it's so sad because Angela Bassett has never gotten any of the roles people want her to be in. But she would have been good in 2004 in particular. She probably would have nailed this role. She would have nailed the sass and sort of the brokenness that this character sort of embodies. She might have been slightly too old. I don't know how much older she is from Halle Berry. I'm going to look that up really quick. I'm curious. But Angela Bassett is 57. Halle Berry is 49. So not that much older.
Yeah.
That would have worked.
Oh.
But again, they were looking probably because Halle Berry has a box office draw. She was something of a star, particularly around this era, and was a hot item. And there's particularly actresses. There's so many actresses that celebrate winning an Academy Award by being in a shit film like, right afterwards, or just doing like a comic book movie. All of a sudden they're just in a like Jennifer Lawrence, wins an Academy Award, and then she's in the X-Men movies.
Well, and I think sometimes the shit film follows because that's actually something they worked on previously and it got buried, and then they're like, oh, let's capitalize on the fact that this person is now an award winner and unbury this project that was crap and we knew it and try and capitalize on that.
Well, I think a lot of times it's just, here's a big movie and we're going to give you a big payday, and just like anybody who has a job, you're looking for the best amount of money you can make.
Yeah.
And so you're like, all right, I'll do Catwoman if you pay me $20 million.
Right.
Cool. If I fail at this movie and I never have a career again, I just made $20 million off of this movie.
Because getting an Oscar doesn't pay the bills.
Yep.
Yeah, the movie she made an Oscar for, she probably got paid,
Very little.
an eighth of, to be in. Whereas this is a big payday for her. So
yeah, because the big acting roles, if in the Oscars, a lot of times those go to that's the films that are not necessarily those big budget.
They're passion projects.
Yeah, exactly. They're the ones that they're deep and have like serious acting required for them, which is not necessarily the summer popcorn movie that you're gonna get paid the millions for.
Yeah, you've got Jennifer Lawrence. I think is probably a great example. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence was young when she won an Academy Award, and which I think was for Winter's Bone. I want to say it's called.
I think so.
And she's probably thinking, I may fade in 1 year. Mm-hmm. No one will know who I am. Like the girl from True Grit, who got quite a bit of praise. You don't really see her in a lot. She's she's still around, but she's not catapulted to immeasurable levels of fame. Jennifer Lawrence very cleverly was like, okay, I'm going to do Hunger Games, I'm going to do X-Men. And if either one suck, then my career is over. If they're both hits, then my career just keeps going. And, the rest is history. Both films hit big, and she's regarded as, probably one of the biggest female stars in Hollywood right now. Mm-hmm. And is versatile as hell, appearing in movies absolutely. Where she's, a teenager in her 20s and her 30s, 40s. She can kind of do everything. So it's pretty cool. I like how this outfit that Halle Berry's wearing is sort of designed to look like the outfit from Kill Bill. Game of Death.
Yep.
Uma Thurman would have also been an interesting Catwoman.
Yeah, for sure.
Uma probably wouldn't want to do it. But how old is Uma Thurman? She's 45. She's actually the youngest of all of the
ones we've discussed as potential. And this was the year after Kill Bill, so assuming that that when this was in production, that outfit had already showed up. There's no way that that's not intentional. Like let's give her a Kill Bill-esque
What would a Tarantino Catwoman film look like?
It would definitely be more like a 70s blaxploitation picture.
Yeah.
Particularly if you were going to go with sort of a black-centric, female-driven film. With his visual style and his way of drawing out dialogue and sort of letting scenes play, I could see him doing some really interesting things. I could also see it backfiring miserably still, because I think he's got an interesting style that I think works with a very particular kind of movie.
Quentin, if you're listening, and we know you are.
I know you're listening.
We'd love to see your rendition of this. It's been enough time. I think we can relaunch this. And we should relaunch it as a Tarantino film.
Yeah, I feel like 12 years is long enough that that it's time. It's time for a fresh Catwoman movie, and I think you're just the man for the job.
Make it one of your last films.
I have a feeling we're never going to get another Catwoman movie. It's just never going to happen. Maybe like 20 years from now. I feel like there is such a stigma about what this movie is that just no one is going to give this movie the light of day. No one is going to return to this franchise. Freedom is power. You are Catwoman. 1 year before Batman Begins. Batman Begins was like being made while this film was like...
And that's the biggest thing that's hard to wrap your head around, was that the sort of like new modern rebirth of Batman was underway, like was being made while this was in theaters. Like they were probably even being made at the same time. There was probably some overlap in production time.
Legitimately, yeah, I'd say there probably was legitimately some overtime, or some crossover. Mm-hmm. I think this is a film that probably has a completely different set of producers. Again, these were producers who making a Catwoman movie was something they've always wanted to do. They finally got a chance to do it. And they did it, and it was misfire. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about Terminator, because the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles felt like it was made to be. It was a concept that was developed well before Terminator 3 ever came out,
right?
And was intended to be the sequel to Terminator 1 and 2. But then Terminator 3 came out, and
what is happening right now?
This is the more Spider-Man scenes. Because that's something that I think this movie does a lot.
Did her ass just stop that car?
Yes.
And not just metaphorically. She also just looked like she was going to give the hood ornament a blowjob. Which was probably the direction that she was given. Act like you're about to give that hood ornament a blowjob.
I feel like if
Quentin
Tarantino made this movie, I want Nicki Minaj to play Catwoman. Do you imagine that ass in a Catwoman outfit? It'd just be hilarious. I want to see it. But really, the lady who was in Django Unchained would be fantastic. Whose name is escaping me right now. Something Washington?
To the internet.
Lady from, she's on like Scandal, I think now, maybe. Kerry Washington.
Kerry Washington, yeah.
Yeah.
That is who we were talking about. Yep.
Yeah, Kerry Washington is fantastic. She'd be great.
The character that she played in Django Unchained was Broomhilda von Shaft.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Just a phenomenal name to begin with.
Yeah. God, this movie. I want her to be caterwauling. I want to see her like in the middle of the night going. It would be fantastic. Yeah, this was a Village Roadshow who produced this. I'm gonna guess most of the money probably came from them, and then they just were able to convince. Oh, and an interesting Tarantino thing: Zoe Bell is the stunt double for Sharon Stone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, little Tarantino crossover right there.
Heyo.
A little Tarantino.
In Tarantino's world, Zoe Bell just would have played the role.
Would have just been Catwoman,
right?
Or just would have been Sharon Stone's character.
And they would have gotten into some kick-ass fights together.
There'd be a really good soundtrack for this film. It would be.
Yeah.
It would just be kick-ass.
That's what I'd like to hear most is what what Quentin Tarantino's soundtrack for a Catwoman.
They'd
film
create
would be.
like a soul track that was "She is Catwoman." Yeah, there'd be like a really cool groovy sort of groovy tune.
Or it would be hyper Asian infused.
There'd be something. It would be incredible. Whatever. Quentin Tarantino's Catwoman.
I think that having Tom Jones do the theme song.
Oh,
to
man.
Catwoman
Or
would
Paul
be-
Anka.
Oh, that would be a good
Michael, this is the second time in a row that you and I have hung out that we've talked about Tom Jones.
Hey, what? I like Tom Jones. Don't judge.
I didn't bring judgment into the conversation. You did.
Just tell everybody now he's your uncle. Just
Uncle Tom.
Uncle Tom.
Oh,
Tommy.
He owns a cabin.
no.
I
Backtrack.
don't like where this discussion's
Rewind.
going.
Wait a minute.
Stop.
Oh, we're watching Catwoman, ladies and gentlemen.
Why does this
It is
detective always work
appalling.
alone?
I don't get this movie is fucking terrible. This movie is breaking me.
I just hope that at least Quentin Tarantino would include "What's New Pussycat" somewhere
What's new?
on the
Whoa, yeah, when she's fighting the bad guys.
Absolutely.
What's New Pussycat?
Whoa. Okay. Copyright.
Oh, that's all we're gonna sing of it.
Cut.
Which Tom Jones song? So we're already
Perfect.
We'd have at least 2 tracks by Tom.
Oh, I'm
Jones.
so excited about this movie. When are we gonna see it?
It's not unusual to be loved by
Oh.
Catfight. I like how she's in like a jumpsuit. Sharon Stone's character. She's like in like a.
Well, she came ready.
All of this looks like a makeup commercial. It's hilarious.
Which, I mean, that might not have been unintentional.
Oh, I'm
given
sure it was.
that,
Yeah.
The villains being the makeup company, and if you're going for a female-centric superhero movie, making the villain a makeup company is such low-hanging fruit. Like, it's such a lazy thing to do.
It's always like it's actually the cliche that I talk about in female-centric movies. If they work in the fashion industry or makeup industry, I'm always really just like, come on.
Right. This is like
women can do not women things too.
Yeah, I feel like this is like The Devil Wears Prada just with cats.
Yeah. At least with like The Devil Wears Prada, it's that's the intention.
Right.
Like Catwoman, she could just be a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to have a gender role assigned to her work.
Right.
She could be a scientist who works for, like, hell, if she was a scientist who worked for the makeup company, it would actually be better.
Yeah, I would be perfectly fine with that.
Like,
Right.
she discovers the formula is bad. Then it's like, okay, well, her passion for makeup led her to be a chemist for a makeup company. That's fine.
Right.
Or maybe maybe even she's the scientist that doesn't wear makeup but works for a makeup company because that's where, the skill set that she's
a chemist.
She's a chemist, and so she got hired there, but she doesn't use the product herself.
Yeah.
Then
Then
you start to get an interesting dynamic of like she's the woman that's not into what this company's about, but she's a scientist, and so.
But then it becomes a commentary on like what's happening in culture with women. That like there's this idea that women have to not have wrinkles, they have to be perfect, that they lose beauty as they age, and these are all things that are like cliches that aren't necessarily true and are not even really very fair. And so, but you see them particularly sold in the modeling, makeup, fashion sort of world as like, once you hit a certain age, you're done. And so you have this character who actively sort of combats that, both as a chemist working for the makeup company. She makes sure the products that people are putting on their faces are not going to kill them. And here she discovers that this company is producing an anti-aging cream that causes your face to essentially melt, and becomes Catwoman to fight it.
Okay, which maybe I've missed it. I don't really understand what benefit they would have for selling
And putting a product out there.
toxic face cream.
They're evil.
Like
Because
as soon
once
as
that comes out, like they
as
go
soon
out of
as
business.
faces start melting off, people no longer buy the product, and you're done forever.
Well, yeah, I think if I were to do the same kind of story, I would make it far less damaging. Like, they know that 1% of the population get really sick from this makeup.
Oh, I just caught it. You stop using it, and your face disintegrates.
Yeah.
So people become hooked on using it forever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotta read the dialogue.
But, not saying that if I were to do Catwoman, I would do that. But if I were kind of have to sort of rewrite this script, that's what I would do. I would rewrite the script to be a little more emotionally functional and a little bit of a commentary on beauty and
that definitely
female
could have been a
empowerment.
little more fleshed out, like, this idea that like you become pretty much addicted to these products or else you're ruined.
But instead they made her a graphic designer for the company, and it just doesn't work as well.
Right.
Yeah, the graphic designer thing, like, it seems like a really odd choice as far as
It has nothing to do with what was going on with the products.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It really, like, aside from she needed some role at the company, that's the thing that I think is almost most offensive about it is like they were trying to find a role at the company for this female character, and they're like, well, it's got to be something to do with art. Either she's going to be the bitchy CEO, or she's got to be an artist. And that's almost.
Well, I think they were trying to make it low level enough that she wouldn't have had any involvement with the product itself, so she's innocent. Do you know what I mean?
But she could be a chemist who's not working on this project but checks on it for her friend,
who discovers it and tries to stop it.
Yeah, and then they kill her for it, and then she takes on the
like-
mantle of Catwoman to sort of stop.
Right.
And then in turn finds her own empowerment in simply being assertive.
Because
Like, she finds her beauty in being assertive.
right. As it stands, she has to come in late to the office and stumble upon the restricted area for we don't know because plot.
Because plot.
And discover what's going on. It's like it doesn't really make sense the graphic designer would even be in the same building as the laboratory stuff.
Right.
Like, in the Tim Burton Catwoman, she's not necessarily exactly like the way Catwoman is. But in that movie, she's a lowly secretary, which is in itself a commentary on like where we put women in the corporate world.
Right.
And she discovers this massive thing, which is a commentary on how men are very greedy and don't give a shit about the things they do. She's killed for it, and ultimately, it empowers her. The version that's presented in the Christopher Nolan films is also interesting in that she's somebody who has gotten so far off track in her life that she takes this mantle and robs from the people who essentially ruined her life. And there's a bit of female empowerment in that. I mean, female empowerment doesn't have to have the subtlety of a spoon. It can be subtle and complex. And we've had this conversation now during what is arguably the stupidest catfighting.
That was a very long fall that Sharon Stone just took.
She like tumbled. She tumbled like a little tumbleweed, rolling her way down. He's like, I like you, so I'm going to let you get away with this. I'm going to let you get away with murder. Just stop being Catwoman. You are Catwoman. So I wonder what a sequel to this movie would have been. Like, I wonder where, like, was Batman going to be in this? Were they like, oh, we're going to put Christian Bale in the next one? We just got this guy. He's going to play Batman. He's going to be so good.
Yeah, if this had been really well received, would there have been some attempt to, like, try to like, mesh this in?
Would the Dark Knight Rises have had Halle Berry instead?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is if this had gone over exceptionally well.
Oh, she's with the doctor now, guys.
So stupid.
And crazy cat lady.
This is probably the stuff that gets it to pass the Bechdel test, is her talking with the crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
The day I died was the day I started to live. Well, that's a terrible time to start to live. You died. This movie kind of feels like, when you watch a movie and there's like a movie within a movie, and the movie within a movie is always like really self-aware and stupid. It feels like that. It feels like somebody
we're
made
watching
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, she stood him up again.
Yeah. That's okay. And there's
I'm
that
very
again.
good.
But sometimes she's bad.
But only as bad as I want. Freedom is power. To live a life untamed and unafraid is the gift that I've been given. And so, my journey begins. I am Catwoman.
Whoa.
Woo. God, the CG is just so.
Oh man,
so crappy.
It hurts me.
This was because like Daredevil did this too,
Yep.
like the
Sure did.
swinging wireworks of Spider-Man, and again, that's a misinterpret. Studio heads and producers tend to misinterpret what is successful. But again, Spider-Man is successful because Spider-Man felt like Spider-Man.
Right.
It played and felt exactly the way you would expect Spider-Man to play and feel on the screen. A little goofy, a little, character-driven, fun, entertaining, exciting. The costume is right. The city is right. With the exception of Goblin sort of being, a man in a suit, which he was like a real person in the. But I mean, outside of that, generally gets it all right. That's why it was a success. It got it right.
Yep.
X-Men was a success because, they got the character dynamics right. The costumes were the only thing that were different, but in general, the story is the same. Batman Begins. They made you believe Batman was real. Superman Returns. Superman is real.
Yep.
Man of Steel, and Superman is real in that one. There's so many movies where the comic book movies that hit, they hit because the characters are true.
Well, and like now I don't on that line of thinking, I don't understand this finale. Like, I understand that she can't go back to her old life. She's this new person. She's been reborn. Yeah. But like her motives throughout the film were revenge on the people who killed her.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do now? Is she just go walk around the city waving her ass and whipping the whip around?
Pretty
like
much.
what? Like I'm already bored just thinking of an entire night of doing that. Like what is her motivation now? What is she gonna do?
Someone else.
Is she?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Is she like?
Is
She's
she
just gonna
super?
go to dance
Is she
clubs and pick up
super
guys.
passionate about crime fighting now because she's confident?
Because the thing is, Catwoman was never like a superhero
No.
crime fighter. She was the complex.
She's kind of a villain. She's an anti-hero.
Yeah, she was always an anti-hero and a little bit of a villain in the Batman series. So turning her into this, superhero character that's going to wander around the city and fight for the, the people
But
that are being...
I don't even know that that's what she's gonna do.
She's just gonna walk
They
around
give
looking
no
hot.
motivation for what she's gonna do next, other
Yeah.
than just exist in this costume.
That's why she's actually just like schizophrenic with a little bit of like borderline personality. That's why she leaves the guy who's nice to her. She stands him up. She's like, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with you. I'm going to leave you and I'm going to go to a dance club and pick up guys. That's actually the sequel. It's just her like fucking like 20 guys.
Oh my god.
Just her picking up random guys and fucking them.
That's
and then
where it goes.
Wow.
like the sequel is just really like,
She
wow,
opens
she
her
took
own-
empowerment in the wrong way.
She opens her own like Dom studio where she isn't fucking any of them. She just like
She just steps on balls.
Yeah.
There's
She
an
just
audience
does
that's getting
genital-
really excited for that version of the sequel.
She just does genital torture. That's all that she does.
Well, she's got the outfit ready
The
to go.
entire movie.
Exactly.
Well, that took an interesting turn there at the end.
I really want to see that movie now.
All right, between that movie and the Quentin Tarantino
We got some good
version
follow-ups
of
lined
that.
up.
Yeah.
I think I'd still go for the Tarantino version over the ball torture.
Oh.
But, you know, whatever you're into, Randy.
Catwoman 2 is just 90 minutes of ball torture.
They can both
I mean, this movie
exist.
was kind of ball torture in its own way.
Yeah.
It's certainly ass torture. Like, I've been sitting here rocking back and forth because I'm like so bored that my brain is trying to stimulate itself by making me rock back and forth.
Let's see what's happening on Neko Atsumi.
Did you catch the Halle Berry cat?
No.
Oh.
So yeah, this is I mean, you know, we've pretty much exhausted talking about why this movie is a misfire, because it is. Everything about it is a misfire.
Yep.
With the, you know, it gets a few things right. Again, I don't think the performances are completely flat. I think the reason why they suck is just that they're just not good. They're just it's just everything about it is sort of,
It's just not good.
it's just poorly manufactured from the ground up. And it's manufactured to be something, it's manufactured to be the most obvious female empowerment movie ever. And when you make something obvious like that, when it lacks the subtlety, you step into camp.
Mm-hmm.
And if, you know, again, if you were to take Batman Begins and let these people make Batman Begins, it would look like this.
Oh, God.
It would still be a shitty movie
Right.
because it would be played funny and it would feel funny. You know, it's really about executing the wrong tone with the wrong script, with a miscast group of people who are giving it their all, but still not you know,
Yep.
it just bombs out, and you get this ultimate film that is, I mean, arguably, I'd say it is in the top 10, easily in the top 10 worst comic book movies ever made, if not the single worst.
Yeah,
If you can,
it's-
folks, if you can think of a worse one, because I know there's a lot of them out there, but if you can think of a worse one, you know, let us know. Maybe we'll do a commentary on it.
yeah.
I'm working on it, and I'm not coming up with anything right now.
I mean, there are certainly, you know, like Marvel, there's been a lot of bad Marvel movies. Like there's like a Nick Fury movie from like the 90s with David
Oh, yeah.
Hasselhoff, and you know, but then there's like Captain America, like the 90s Captain America and stuff. But I mean, again, this is the least competent, I think, of all of those. Even the shit sort of comic book movies, it's just nothing compares to Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's ultimately what Catwoman is. It's just a misfire of a movie. I hope to whatever God exists that Batman versus Superman is nothing as much of a misfire as that.
Oh man.
I do
Fingers
get
crossed.
worried when I watch the
Fingers
trailer. I'm
crossed.
like, ooh, this is approaching campy at times. I'm not sure this is, you know, I'm hoping that when I see the movie, when it actually plays, I'm going to watch it and just be like, no, this is fantastic. This is a fantastic movie.
That's what I'm hoping for, too.
They have done something great. It's just such a question mark because Man of Steel was played very serious. There's not a lot of comic bookiness to Man of Steel, and so to see comic bookiness sort of get infused into the sequel is confusing, and yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect out of that movie. We're recording this obviously before Batman vs Superman comes out, and maybe we'll do like a response video after Batman vs Superman comes out.
Talk about how we felt about it once it was out.
Yeah, we'll talk about
you
it.
know, see where it lined up with expectations, and
Yeah.
whether we were completely off base with what we were seeing out of those trailers, or
Yeah.
if we were, you know, kind of on track with it.
So yeah, we're actually going to be doing. One commentary has already gone up. We've already done Batman and Robin, and then this is the second one, and then next week we're going to have Superman. We're going to be doing a commentary for Superman 4, and then the following we're going to
Quest
be
for peace.
doing commentary on Superman 4 deleted scenes. So the entire month of March is going to be dedicated to
The DC
superheroes,
universe.
the DC universe. So definitely check out the commentaries for Batman and Robin and Superman 4 deleted scenes. We hope you enjoyed Permanently Geek's Watch with us. This was the Catwoman audio commentary. Yeah. This was actually...
We made it through.
I think we did a good job on this commentary, even though this was a hard movie to watch.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think I deserve to pat myself on the back a
A
little
round
bit
of applause.
Yay.
Yeah.
for making it through to the end and
Yeah.
at least generally staying on topic of the film and not just eventually talking about things completely unrelated.
Completely off topic.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed this, if you managed to stick through to the end, please subscribe below. You can also follow us on Permanently Geek at Twitter. You can also check us out at permanentlygeek.com. My name is Randy. You can also follow me at RL Schaefer Writes and find me on rlschaefer.com. Michael, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MichaelMCFMusic, and you can find everything else at michaelmcfarr.land.
And Dana.
I am on Instagram and Twitter under the name Daily Dana.
There you go, folks. That concludes today's episode of Permanently Geek's Watch with Us. We hope you had a good time. We hope you had at least the same amount of time as we did. We hope an hour and 44 minutes of your life has passed and that maybe you are a little wiser and also a little sad that you just rewatched Catwoman. So thank you so much and take care.
Thanks for stopping by.
Wicked, wicked.